suppose we are with single lacing system and we are with double lacing system, and now we are with a batten system to connect two components of a column. Now we will first go through the clauses. First clause is same as your lacing and system. RYY should be greater than RZZ. So we are in this fashion. Then we have these columns. If are subjected to movement, then we have to design it specially. Then we have to provide that battens should be same throughout, that is uniformly throughout, and the number of battens should be such that the member is divided into not less than 3 bays within its actual length from center to center of end connection. Then we have that slenderness ratio, that is 1.1 times, whereas in lacing we have 1.05 times. Then force we have same, that is transverse shear 2.5% into axial load on the column. Here we have that is longitudinal shear VTC upon NS. VT we have transverse shear, C spacing between battens, and number of parallel planes of battens, and S we have minimum distance between the centroid of the rivet boards. Then moment we have VTC upon 2N. Now all terms we have already known of this, and by this we are in position to determine the design forces. Now for these forces we have to go for the battens, so size of battens. So here we have end battens first, and effective depth of end battens should not be less than perpendicular distance between the centroid of the main members, that is S plus 2G. If we have back to back, and if we have face to face, that is toe to toe, then we have S plus 2G minus 2B minus 2G. Now for intermediate battens, we have to go for 3/4 of the depth, effective depth of the end battens. Now, but both the depth of both battens should not be less than twice the width of the member in the plane of the battens. So it should not be less than 2B, that is BF, you can say thickness of width of flange. Now thickness you can see we have 1/50th of the distance between the innermost connecting lines of rivets, bolts or welds. So in lacing, single lacing 1/40, in battens 1/50, and in double lacing 1/60. Then we have in battens, then again KL upon R, that should not be less than 50 or 0.7 times the slenderness ratio of the member. Here we have this value, we have to check it, that is distance shall be connected by riveting, bolting or welding, so that the ratio of most unfavorable slenderness ratio, that is not greater than 40 or 0.6 times the unfavorable ratio of the slenderness ratio of strut as a whole. And then depending upon your diameter, thickness of the batten, you have to provide the bolt diameter, but it should not be less than 16 millimeters. Diameter for members up to and including 10 millimeters. So we will not go less than 16 millimeters. Now we have this column and 1300 kilonewton we have load for this. 10 meter we have one end, we have column is restrained in position but not in direction at one end, that is simple support, and restrained in position and direction at other end. So we have that will be fixed. And we have to also design batten system. I will not go in detail with this design of column which already we have seen. Here I have considered value of allowable compressive stress on higher side, because here my length will be 10 into 0.8, because we have one end fixed, another simple, so it becomes 8,000. So automatically L is less, and therefore we are going to get larger compressive stress allowable, and therefore I have taken on higher side. Now depending upon area required, we have calculated for single channel. Accordingly, channel is selected which have properties as per IS 808 1989, and accordingly we are like this. Now we have to provide spacing of channel in such a way that we have RYY greater than RZZ. So we will consider R minimum as RZZ. Now we are going to be channels are placed back to back, and here you can see this. We have channels. So CYY we have center of the centroid of the channels, and G we have distance till your bolt group. Now RYY overall we are going to say that is equal to RZZ, and that is equal to this RYY individual square plus CYY plus SC by 2 whole square. And substituting RZZ, we are going to get value of SC 183.4 millimeter. We will provide higher side so that my RYY overall should be greater than RZZ. Now lambda effective we will calculate, which will gives me 67.74, and for this I will calculate value of lambda effective, which will be 1.1 into lambda of overall of column, according to clause number 7.7.1.4. And from this table 9C, we are going to get value of FCD, which we got as 144.78 MPa. And that will gives me value of PD, which will be equal to 1340.65 kilonewton, greater than 300 kilonewtons. Now we will go for battens system. So we have spacing of battens. You can see this. We have top, that will be end batten. Then we have intermediate batten C upon RYY not less than 0.7 lambda or 50, whichever is less. So we have calculated value of C for two criteria. First for 0.7 into lambda, which will be C less than 52.16, that is 0.7 into 74.51, gives me value 1356.16, and second criteria of 50 gives 1300. So less than this we have to provide, and that comes 1250 millimeters. Now size we have seen, we have for end battens SC plus 2 CYY not less than again 2 BF, and we will have this value 237. So taking diameter of bolt 20, we will provide end distance as 33 millimeters, gives me overall depth 303 millimeters. So I will provide overall depth of end batten 310 millimeters. Now length we have to take out to out distance of the cross section of the column, that is end to end distance between the channel, gives me SC plus 2 into BF, that is 370 millimeters. Now thickness we know 1/50 into distance between innermost bolts, that is SC plus 2G, and that will gives me value 5.8 millimeters. So we will provide 370 by 310 by 6 millimeter as end battens. Now we will switch over to intermediate battens, and we have now changed only, we have to take 3/4 of this value, and that will gives me value of overall depth, that will be 246. So we will provide 250 millimeter. Length will be as it is, no change. Thickness is also same, we have 5.8 millimeters. So we will provide intermediate battens 370 by 250 by 6 millimeter at 1250 millimeter center to center. Now maximum shear force, as we know, 2.5% gives me 32.5 kilonewton value. Longitudinal shear we have value 70.04 as per clause number 7.7.2.1. Moment we will calculate gives me 10.16 kilonewton meter. And now we will check the battens for stresses. Now for end battens, we have shear force upon cross sectional area. We have depth as 310, gives me 17.47, less than 250 upon root 3 into 1.1, which is for your shear. That is clause number 8.4.1. And for your bending stress, your clause number is 8.2.1.2, and M by Z. So Z we have, I have shown this TD, and then we have TD cube by 12 divided by TD, that will give me TD square. And that value will be less than 250 upon 1.1. So that is okay. Now similarly we will go for intermediate battens, and our criteria for intermediate battens also satisfied, means our section is okay for these forces. Now we will go for the bolted connection here. So now bolt we have in single shear, because we have connection between battens and channel only. So value in single shear for bolt we have taken actually 20 millimeter diameter, but after calculation we are not sufficient with this 20 millimeter diameter. So we have taken this diameter of bolt as 24 millimeter over here. By 20 millimeter, my criteria is not going to be satisfied. So we have this as 24 millimeter square, which will give me A and B value, and that will be 352.86. As A and B gives me VDSB as 65.19 kilonewtons. This will be first value, which is in shear. Now in bearing, we have this value. Now we will put the values, and by this we are going to get this value, that is of VDPB, and that comes 63.64 kilonewton, and minimum of the two, that will gives me bolt value, and that is 63.64 kilonewtons. Now number of bolts we have to go for longitudinal shear upon bolt value as 1.55, but we are going to provide 4 bolts because we have bending stresses also developed in these bolts due to bending moment. Now check for stresses in bolts. For end battens we will first go. So we have axial force, that is longitudinal shear upon number of bolts. We have considered 4 bolts, and that value comes 17.51 kilonewtons. Now we will go for force in bolts due to moment, and formula we have mr upon sigma r square. Now r is the distance of the bolt from the centroid. Now we have 4 bolts, so centroid will be at center. And for this one, we have this distance, that will be r, which will be 40, and we have this distance, which is r, will be 80 plus 40, 120. So we have taken this will be 120, and then this will be 40, and 2 times, because we have bolts on bolt above this centroid and below this centroid, so we have taken twice. And by substituting value of m, r is the farthest distance of the bolt from the centroid, and substituting this value we got FB 38.1 kilonewton, and this Fr, which is under root Fa square plus Fb square, gives me 41.93 kilonewton, less than 63.64 kilonewton. Now check for bolts, check for stresses in bolts for intermediate battens. Now in this our FA remains as it is, there is no change in FA, but if we will go to the intermediate battens, then we are going to get this value, that is mr upon summation r square, and this value we have 30, and then second value we are going to be 90. And then we have twice of this, and we got this value actually FB 50.8, and we have Fr now, which is less than 63.64 kilonewton. Now try to understand why these values are going to be changed, that is of R. So now we can have depth for end batten, and we have this depth as 310. Now we have this value 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So we have this edge end distance. So let us, I will say 35, and this end distance we have 35. So 35, 35, 70. So if we will subtract 70 from this, then I will get 240, and therefore my distance between the bolts becomes 80 in case of end battens. But if you have in case of intermediate battens, then we have 250 minus 70, and this comes 180, and then we are going to get this value as 60 millimeter. So I have considered actually bolt diameter 20 millimeter. I have calculated value, but this criteria is not satisfied. Therefore, I have changed bolt value as 24 millimeter, and then I have calculate, and by considering 24 millimeter, so actually this value comes 36 millimeter as end distance, but I kept it as it is, that is as 35 millimeters, and then I have calculated the value, because the no that much change will not be there if we will consider 35 or 36. In this way, we have decided this distance between the boards, and now my both criteria both criteria are satisfied. That is for your intermediate buttons also and for your end buttons also. And in this way, we have to provide these end buttons and as your button system. So thank you. This is all about your button system. We have seen lacing system. We have seen now button system. So this is all about your connecting system for the columns, and this will complete your lecture that is for systems. So today we will stop here only.